A man wants to buy lingerie for his girlfriend, but he doesn't know how big it should be. The size of the lingerie should be 3 times larger than that of a normal person, and when the shopkeeper measured it for him, the lingerie was extremely red. He opened his 2 claws and wanted to resist, because when he came, no one told him why he had to measure that part. He knew that this part could only be given to his husband's friend. This made the shopkeeper a little confused. The man hurried to touch his head to comfort him. "This is just measuring the size for you." The ancient and modern clothing styles are different, so the way of measuring is also different. After hearing the lingerie, he had to compromise. But after the shopkeeper measured it, he was surprised to find that, "Beauty, your chest circumference is 98 centimeters. It's a standard 36D cup." He began to sell the best products in his shop at random. The 2 people next to him blushed, because the lingerie in front of them is really thin. The woman begged him not to wear it, because it feels very tight. It must be uncomfortable to wear, but the man was in a hurry to comfort her. "This is what you wear inside. It's almost the same as the fruit chest you wore in ancient times. They all belong to normal clothes. As long as you choose the right size, there will be no discomfort." The shopkeeper quickly chose a few sets of lingerie for the woman. "Just pick a suit that fits you." The man's name is Fang Ning. He just wanted to make a live broadcast in the grave, but he accidentally summoned a 1,000-year-old woman. He thought he was a public actor invited by the director. He immediately asked the woman to marry him. The audience in the live broadcast room was shocked. The anchor was even afraid of the woman. The anchor is really a god, but the woman just stared at Fang Ning's proposal. She bent her waist close to him and spoke slowly. "Why did you make me wait so long? Why did you come to marry me now?" The man was in a bad mood. A group of 100 people came to see the show. The next second, there was a storm. The crowd dispersed. The woman held the man's wrist tightly. She cried and screamed. "Do you know how lonely I have been in the past few thousand years? Why did you leave me here alone?" The staff of the program group was instantly blown away by the amazing momentum. At this time, Fang Ning finally reacted. The 3-sense explosion effect was too real. At this time, the woman showed the effect of magic behind her, but Jiang Li also began to change. At this moment, the live broadcast suddenly lost signal. Fang Ning screamed. The man wanted to run away, but at the moment he turned his head, he suddenly froze. Just because the woman was staring at the ring. Tears couldn't stop her from falling. She said, "Why did you leave me alone? Don't leave me alone." This sentence also left Fang Ning in memories. She was abandoned by her parents when she was a child. She lived in an orphanage alone. She slept alone every night. In her dream, she shouted countless times, "Don't leave me alone." The girl in front of her and the figure of childhood gradually overlapped. He reached out to touch the girl's hair. He took out the prepared ring from the box. He gently put it on the girl's ring finger. He held the girl's small body in his arms. He said, "I'm back to marry you." At this time, the girl's magic gradually disappeared, but her body suddenly broke out a shocking aura. Fang Ning's head hit the tree and fainted. I don't know how long it took. Fang Ning opened her eyes. The crew all looked up. Fang Ning touched her head and asked, "What happened last night? Where is that girl?" However, the director and the crew were also shocked. After the storm last night, everyone was in a coma. Even the camera was blown down. Nothing was taken. But the man's account grew by $1 million overnight. Just the live broadcast revenue reached 30,000 yuan. After saying goodbye to the crew, the man returned home. What happened last night must have been a dream. How could there be such a ridiculous thing in the world? It must be an illusion created by the head hit the tree. Fang Ning fell asleep on the bed. I fell asleep in the middle of the night. When she was looking for her phone in a daze, there was a slippery touch on her hand. Her body seemed to be pressed by something. She looked up and saw a girl with red hair sitting on her. Fang Ning woke up at once. She got goosebumps. What is going on? Did I not wake up in my dream? Since it's a dream, the dream should change according to my consciousness. So she put her hands together and said, "I can't see her." But the girl in front of her did not change at all. The girl looked at Fang Ning with a crooked head, a series of strange movements. Why is this move not easy to use? Is it too tired to get out of the dream? So she decided to use the killer sword to use the pain to wake up. Then she grabbed the index finger of the other hand with her right hand, only to hear a hoarse scream around her. Fang Ning lay on the ground with her ass in pain. The ghost emperor curiously asked her what she was doing. Fang Ning woke up at once. Is it all true? Then she bumped into the ghost emperor and confirmed that she had a body. Fang Ning asked, "How did you show up at my house?" At this time, she held Fang Ning's hand, slowly opened her mouth. "Of course I'm here to see you." Fang Ning said the truth on the spot. "I didn't expect it just to be a popular drama on the net last night." The little ghost took it seriously. Do I really have to marry a ghost wife? A ghost woman who has been dead for thousands of years? I'm not interested. She looked at Fang Ning and didn't want to admit it. She asked, "Do you want to abandon me again?" Fang Ning didn't want to misunderstand like this. She was just about to explain what happened last night, but before she could say anything, a gust of wind swept through the house. The ghost emperor's emotions were violently fluctuating. "What do you want to explain?" Fang Ning was immediately scared. Saving lives is the most important thing. Then she held the girl's hand tightly. "I didn't forget what happened last night. I'm so sincere to you. If I hadn't fainted last night," seeing the innocent and romantic face of the other party, Fang Ning was also blushing. "It gave me a heart attack. I thought about it." Fang Ning asked her, "How do you know where my house is?" To know that there's at least 20 kilometers from the princess's grave. She thought about it. Suddenly, she flew high. She looked at Fang Ning in the air. Then she rushed over to her body. Fang Ning used her hands to pick it up subconsciously, but the ghost emperor straightly dug into her chest. She was wondering what happened just now. Where did the ghost emperor go? She suddenly came out of Fang Ning's chest. In her scream, the ghost emperor was pulled out. He fell heavily on the floor. He looked very stupid. He suddenly covered his head like nobody. I never thought I would think a ghost was so horrible. The ancient wedding dress seemed a bit too long. It didn't take long for him to stand up. He was knocked down by the clothes. Fang Ning curiously asked him, "It should be very inconvenient for you to walk in this dress." He blinked, as if he understood what she said. Then he began to pluck his hair with one hand, only to see that his body was covered in a green light. Fang Ning was excited. Is this the legendary magic? But the next second, he suddenly appeared in front of Fang Ning. Her nose was bleeding. "I ask you to change your clothes, not for you to take off your clothes." Fang Ning took out her own clothes in a hurry. Let her change. Her face was slightly red and facing the girl. Why does this ghost look so stupid? After she heard that she had changed her clothes, Fang Ning didn't dare turn around, only to see that her big moss shirt was wearing on her. It was a bit tight. Fang Ning tied her first buckle. The girl was standing still, a little clueless. She just thought the clothes were a bit too tight. This time Fang Ning asked the girl, "Where are you going? Do you really want to take me as your mother?" The girl nodded her head hard. "I'll go wherever my husband goes. I'll do whatever my husband tells me to do." Seeing her so cute, Fang Ning's face was even red. The ghost in the princess's grave has been sleeping for thousands of years. It's as pure as a piece of paper. Fang Ning didn't have a better idea for a moment, so she let Jiang Li follow her. Jiang Li looked curiously at herself in the mirror. This time Fang Ning asked me, "What do you do? Is it true?" Jiang Li answered sweetly, "Yes, it's true. Since this is the first din I teach you." Jiang Ling's face was red, staring at what she took out. Fang Ning pointed to the toothbrush. "You have to stay here every day and night. You have to brush your teeth." Then she demonstrated how to squeeze toothpaste, how to move up and down and clean your teeth. Finally, use water to spit it out. It's done. Who knew that in the next second, Jiang Li used his mouth directly. He held Fang Ning's toothbrush in his hand. "Is this how you brush your teeth?" Finally, with the help of Fang Ning, she finally learned how to brush her teeth. At this time, Fang Ning noticed that she was using her own toothbrush. Isn't this an indirect kiss? Jiang Li rubbed a mouthful of water in front of Fang Ning. She began to spit out the water from the mouth of the mirror. Jiang Li looked at Fang Ning proudly. "Is this how you brush your teeth?" Fang Ning looked calm on the surface, but her heart was touched by this cute silhouette. "You passed the test this time.
But don't use my toothbrush in the future. Since you want to stay here, I'll buy you a new one later." Jiang Li blinked and smiled and said, "Thank you for the trouble." At this time, Fang Ning asked a question that confused her. "Why do you think I'm your project?" Jiang Li lowered her head. I don't seem to remember anything. I just remember that you are my project. Then I started to have a severe headache. I seem to be looking for something very important, but I can't remember what it is. It seems to be the hairpin on my head. Fang Ning fell into a trance. It's because she was looking for something that she got close to me. I don't know if this is true or not, so Fang Ning asked Jiang Li to go back to her room and wait for herself. I'll go back after I'm done using the bathroom. It said that obsession exists. She forgot that it was her obsession. When she was about to take off her pants, she noticed a scene. She only saw Jiang Li didn't leave. Instead, she was curious to see what she was doing. Fang Ning was embarrassed at the moment. What are you doing? Jiang Li answered smoothly. Of course she was waiting for the project to leave together. The scene was very awkward. Fang Ning kicked Jiang Li out. Then she locked the door of the bathroom. She left Jiang Li waiting outside. Fang Ning started to think about Lian Tian inside. Although she is now out of sight, I don't know when she will show her teeth. Although she is very cute and beautiful, she is a human being after all. I can't do it to the extent of crossing species isolation. I still have to find a reason to make her leave herself safer. Then, Fang Ning opened the door of the bedroom. The scene in front of her made her melt on the spot. She only saw Jiang Li lying on the bed and reading an unknown book. She looked at the limited edition magazine that she had been collecting for many years. Fang Ning, a fly, caught it. Lian Mang asked where you found this book. Jiang Li said while flying. Naturally, it was found under the husband's bed. Jiang Li was curious and asked, why don't the people in the book wear clothes? They're also a couple. Should I do the same with my husband? Wen Yan and Fang Ning blushed like monkeys, immediately explained that this book is a gift from others when buying things. Then Jiang Li was curious about the picture in the book. Why is this girl kneeling in front of her husband with her head down? Fang Ning didn't know how to explain for a while. Lian Man grabbed it from her hand, quickly stuffed it under the bed, then told Jiang Li that without her permission, she couldn't turn things over. Jiang Li nodded obediently. She knew her husband, this time Fang Ning, just wanted to talk about what Jiang Li was looking for, but the picture hadn't fallen. Yet. Jiang Li stuck it to her body, then stared at Fang Ning's thigh. It turned out that she was recalling the picture she saw in the book just now. Why does it seem to be different from now? Jiang Li suddenly asked where the problem was. Then he grabbed Fang Ning's pants, scared Fang Ning. What are you doing? Jiang Li answered seriously. I'm doing it according to the content of the book. Husband, you should take off your clothes first. Fang Ning scolding. This kind of thing can't be done casually. You forget that book quickly. Wen Yan and Jiang Li both raised their mouths. I didn't do it casually. You are my husband. I only do it with my husband. Fang Ning and Lian Mang avoid. Even if this doesn't work, we haven't known each other for a long time. Can we sit down and talk about business first? I'm still a virgin. I can't be taken away casually like this. But if the other party insists on continuing, I can't beat him either. Just follow it directly. But Jiang Li sat on the bed obediently. No more scene restoration. I don't know why. A sense of disappointment came from Fang Ning's heart. Then Fang Ning shook her head hard, want to throw away these unrealistic ideas, then enter the main subject. Let's talk about how to find your stuff. But this time, Jiang Li suddenly stood up. The people in the book didn't wear clothes, so I have to take off my clothes. Said to use force to stretch his clothes, Fang Ning suddenly blushed. Why are you here again? Did I just say so much for nothing? I just saw Jiang Li staring at Fang Ning. Can my husband accept me like this? Then he pushed Fang Ning to the corner of the wall. The distance was gradually shortened. Just a second before Fang Ning was about to explode, he still held back. Take out a coat and put it on Jiang Li. Inevitably, Jiang Li had to obey. Jiang Li changed his clothes after 2:30. Fang Ning was confused. I remember you don't know magic. Why don't you just change your clothes? Jiang Li said he couldn't change things out of nothing. Then he sniffed the clothes on Wen carefully. There was actually the smell of my husband in it. It's clear that Fang Ning suddenly blushed. Why are you thinking about these things in your head? Looking at cute Jiang Li, Fang Ning's questions are getting more and more. Is he really a ghost? So he asked directly. Jiang Li, are you really a ghost? Hearing the question, Jiang Li was also confused. Then he shook his head. Jiang Li is not a ghost. Then what are you? Jiang Li silently did not answer this question. Seeing Fang Ning's guess, Jiang Li might be some kind of obsessive soul body. It seems that only by helping him find the hairpin can he know the answer. So asked Jiang Li if he has any memories about the hairpin. Where can I find it? Jiang Li shook his head and said he didn't know. But now, Jiang Li's stomach is hungry, want to eat something. Fang Ning was loved again. Although he was confused about whether the soul body would be hungry, but he still opened a refrigerator with Jiang Li, found a big pie and gave it to Jiang Li. Jiang Li took a bite and bit down. But after eating a bite, Jiang Li returned the pie to Fang Ning. This is not enough to eat. It seems that the soul body also needs energy to move, but humans don't eat food. What should I find for him to eat? After thinking for a long time, Fang Ning asked Jiang Li directly, "What do you want to eat?" At this time, Jiang Li looked out the window as if he smelled something delicious. He almost drooled, but Fang Ning ran to the edge of the window and smelled it. He didn't smell anything. Suddenly, Jiang Li grabbed Fang Ning's shoulders, then took her to the air. Fang Ning was shocked by this scene. "Where are we going?" But Jiang Li didn't respond, so he kept flying with her. We arrived at a small forest. Fang Ning, who was dizzy, vomited immediately. In turn, Fang Ning just wanted to ask where this place was. The next second, she saw a shocking scene. In front of her, it was a deserted Haiyuan Primary School. Looking at the gloomy scene around, Fang Ning always felt something was wrong, and she had seemed to have heard the name of Haiyuan Primary School. So, she took out her phone and clicked on the missing navigation. She found that this was the legendary Haiyuan Village. Fang Ning remembered that she had heard this place in the news. Although it was only a few kilometers away from her rental house, she had never seen anyone go this way. It is said that 10 years ago, a developer transformed this place into an amusement park. But when preparing for construction, there were always many accidents. The final plan to put an end to this place was also abandoned. So Fang Ning asked, "Why are we here?" Jiang Li kept his mouth shut and said, "There was something delicious in it." Fang Ning felt a little scared. "You said it was delicious. Could it be evil?" Fang Ning decided to hide outside, let Jiang Li go inside and eat by herself. But Jiang Li said she couldn't be too far from her husband, so her husband had to go in with me. She pushed Fang Ning in while talking. Fang Ning had no choice. All right, I'll go in and save her." Jiang Li smiled and leaned on Fang Ning's back. "My husband took me to eat something delicious." Fang Ning was still a little uneasy. 20 years ago, there was a missing student case in Haiyuan Primary School. The missing girl was called Liangshang. She even dispatched the police to investigate. But they searched all over the city, but they didn't find any traces of Liangshang. There was no trace of her in the surveillance. As a result, a month later, Liangshang's body suddenly appeared in the middle of the school building. The police quickly closed the scene and carried out an autopsy. But they found that the time of death was exactly 1 month. However, there was no trace of the body around. The body seemed to have appeared out of thin air. Half a month later, the principal was also found to have committed suicide. Since then, there have been frequent incidents in Haiyuan Primary School. This place is gradually deserted. Looking at the news of the past 20 years, Fang Ning was very scared. Will there really be no other incidents in the future? But Jiang Li turned around for Fang Ning, who was about to eat deliciously and happily. Fang Ning pushed the drum. "Why don't we go back?" But Jiang Li dreamed of her. Fang Ning was in a hurry. She made a joke she had no choice. She hoped that Jiang Li could rely on her. Fang Ning pushed the door that had been closed for a long time.
There was no sign of her in the building. Soon, they came to a staircase. Jiang Li pointed to the front. "It's up there." According to Jiang Li's hint, the two of them went straight to the principal's office. The next second, Jiang Li rushed over. As soon as he entered the door, Jiang Li stared at a comb on the table. This seems to be what he thinks is delicious. Fang Ning took it and looked at it carefully. Except for a little cold, there seemed to be nothing special. Jiang Li rushed to grab the comb. He gradually absorbed the soul power in it. When all the energy in the comb was absorbed, Jiang Li was still reminiscing. "It's so delicious!" Fang Ning was curious and asked what you were eating. Jiang Li explained that there was soul power in the comb. As long as you eat this, you can fill your stomach. Fang Ning suddenly remembered the case from 20 years ago. Is there really a ghost in this school? This time, Jiang Li came over. He said there was something more delicious here, but he didn't know the exact location. He only knew it was nearby. He thought he was here. Fang Ning was going to take him to look for it. This time, Fang Ning suddenly remembered something. He thought of a good idea to make money, and he can let Jiang Li stay by his side. Jiang Li didn't understand. "What should I do?" Fang Ning asked excitedly. "Can you sense the location of other soul powers?" Jiang Li nodded. He probably sensed the direction. That's enough. Just in time for the popularity of this wave of Princess Graves. He is now playing the iron while it is hot. Live exploration ghost house video.
Is it possible to increase the fans? Then Fang Ning taught Jiang Li how to shoot with the mobile phone. Fang Ning touched Jiang Li's head. As long as you shoot well, I can take you to eat delicious food. Jiang Li was happy. He said delicious food over and over again. A ghost who can fly and look for spiritual objects, it's definitely the best support for live exploration. As long as you shoot well, he can definitely get a lot of traffic. Fang Ning is not only in the fantasy of making a lot of money. Before the official start, Fang Ning told him, no matter what happens later, you have to shoot the video first. As the live broadcast begins, Fang Ning looked bright and greeted the audience. Fang Ning's live broadcast introduced the Thunder of Haiyuan Primary School. 10 years ago, a mysterious missing case of a young girl. It opened the mystery of Haiyuan Village. These strange events are a coincidence. People think there are really ghosts. Let me take you to explore the mystery of this place. Fang Ning didn't notice at all. The comb behind suddenly emitted a mist. Jiang Li, who was in charge of the light, looked at the comb. He didn't know he was drooling. It's delicious, but he thought of Fang Ning's request, so he canceled the secret. No, I can't eat it now. I want to shoot a good video. There will be good things after shooting. At this time, Fang Ning also introduced the source of the legend. It's probably the comb behind. But when he wanted to show the comb, he noticed something strange. The comb kept spinning on the table. Just when Fang Ning mistakenly thought it was Jiang Li, the effect of using soul power, a ghost suddenly grabbed his arm. Fang Ning looked at Jiang Li, who was serious about the light. This should not be Jiang Li's reaction. Fang Ning looked back. A long-haired school ghost jumped into the comb. Finally, he grabbed Fang Ning's neck. At this time, Fang Ning couldn't even scream for help. His body couldn't move. He could only stand still and wait for Jiang Li to notice the abnormality. But Jiang Li's mind was full of shooting videos and eating delicious food. He didn't notice Fang Ning's strange behavior at all. Just when Fang Ning was about to suffocate, the Buddha beads on his wrist suddenly shone. The next second, Fang Ning's Buddha power was enhanced.